All right, yo. So, actually, I'm not too sure what today is. This is just gonna be a quick disclaimer, and just my personal things that I go through and things that I struggle with. And I know that a lot of the people who watch my videos, they primarily watch like the first couple of minutes before they continue to see the rest of the things that I talk about. So I just want to specifically speak to all of my people who are Christian that are pursuing God and are very human. If you're not Christian, to the people who have a vision and are running towards that thing, and yet they have different things that come in and try to throw them off. Whichever side of this you land on, I hope that you hear me, you receive me. But I am very human. I set out to pursue a goal. I set a goal at the beginning when I created this channel. I've been on this journey for a very long time, pursuing becoming a full-time trader, and God has blessed me to work towards this goal. However, there have been moments where I fall short of His glory on a day-to-day basis, where I've fallen into sin. And to be more specific, I've struggled with control. I struggled with sexual immorality to a degree. I'm not too bad with porn. I've never been really bad with porn, but like, just I fall into these things often and often and often. And since starting this video or this channel, I've been very intentional about just me and God, saying yes to this, yes to that, no to this, no to that, and filtering my decision making based off of my vision, based off of the vision that God has given me. You know, because we fall short and we can be easily distracted if we don't have a vision, and especially if that vision isn't strengthened, it's not reinforced. And I had a moment of that recently, very, very, very recently, where I feel like the vision wasn't as strengthened as I could have had it, and I fell short in a sexual way with somebody, and well, not, anyways. And I went beyond a boundary that I wanted to. And to a degree, you know, to some, they wouldn't consider it sin or whatever it may be, but to me, and me knowing what God has placed inside of me, and me knowing the weight of this vision, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, it's still a little heavy for me, just a little bit. And I'm not self-condemning, but I just want to be intentional about taking the time to just sit down and talk and remind myself, remind you all, like, we are human, we all fall short. There's a story that talks about, and I'm not gonna talk about it too long, but there's a story of a father and the son that drives through a storm, and the son sees cars pulled over on the side, and the father tells him to keep driving. He gets to a bridge, he sees a car parked under that bridge, seeking shelter from the storm. And the son asks him, "Dad, should I be able to pull over? Can we stop here and just be safe?" The father says, "No, stay forward, stay the track. Don't pull over, I got you, we'll protect you, just trust in me." He keeps going, he keeps going, he keeps going, and finally he makes it to the other side of the storm. He sees the sun shining, he sees the rainbow, all these different things, beautiful, and he's celebrating. And then the father tells him to pull over, and he's confused, but he listens to his father, and he pulls over. And they get out of the car, and his father explains to him that, "Son, all those people who pulled over in the storm are now stuck in that storm. They're not gonna be able to get through because they chose to stop and not push through and not persevere and stay the track that was set before them." You know, we're gonna go through storms in our life. We're gonna experience different things. And sometimes we're gonna wanna pull over, and sometimes we might even, and we'll get stuck in that moment, but we have to get back on the road and keep going. And like I said, I know for me that God has graced me, God has blessed me. His mercies are renewed every single day, but yet I sinned against my father, and I sinned against the vision that my father has given me. Every part of that vision that he has given me. And I'm not gonna self-condemn. This isn't gonna stop me in the way that the enemy wants. With the Lord, what the enemy meant for evil, God takes and turns it for good. If you don't believe in God, but you still watch these videos, whatever that vision is that you have, it's gonna work out for your glory if you pursue that wholeheartedly and you don't allow anything to stop you. It might slow you down at times, but you keep going, you keep pushing forward, and one day you're gonna wake up and see that you've been battle-hardened and battle-tested throughout all of this. And so for me, this is my accountability. I wanna talk about these things. I don't want to suppress them and keep them to the side. I wanna be intentional about speaking on them and showing this is how I'm human. I'm going to be a very successful trader. I'm already going to be I'm going to have a 250K account. I'm going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in withdrawals. I'm going to teach a lot of different people. But to the people who are listening to me, I am not perfect. I am far from it. I am but a man that God has graced and blessed me to be a vessel, but I'm not perfect. I am just an empty basin that just so happens that the Lord wants to use in this way to talk about these things. And so I just want to take a moment to be accountable and talk about these things and share, because you never know. But anyways, I had a very interesting trading week. A lot of really great trade setups. The market did some really interesting things, but I'm going to talk about it after this. But like I said, I just want to take a moment and be fully transparent about myself, where I'm at, what I'm going to be doing going forward. I'm about to restart reading. I don't know where the book's at, but I'm gonna reread The Way of the Superior Man again. It's a phenomenal book to reinforce the vision that God's given me concerning trading, but also concerning just being a man, a godly man, principle driven, able to operate and establish boundaries like the proper way and stand on those and going forward. And then of course, becoming a husband and stuff like that. So really pursuing that, doubling down on content. I just re-downloaded Instagram here recently, so I do want to take the time to rebuild, or not rebuild, but to start to establish and take some of the content that I've posted on YouTube and put it there and start to build there and be intentional about sharing over there and going forward. But I'm really, really, really excited. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. All right, quick update. It's currently midnight. It's August 6th, and I just got into UJ. It's interesting because I was doing analysis earlier, and across all of the yen pairs, price had this very, very sharp drop, and definitely confident in price reversing and continuing its descent, especially after it broke structure here. But you can kind of see where price is testing off of this EMA here, especially on the 8 hour and the 4 hour time frame. And you can see over 4, 8, 12, about 12 to 16 hours where price was just really moving to the right and losing momentum. And then also for context, this is also that same neckline from the double top. I also got into this trade here where I got in off of this 4 hour doji, and price immediately sold all the way down here, which I closed the trade somewhere around here for a profit. But this is that same structure, and the 4 hour doji is definitely there. If I go down to the 2 hour, you can see it a little bit better where where the EMAs line up, and you can see that slow shift of momentum. Even if I flip to the Hakinashis, you can see how price is flipping momentum. Same on the 4 hour time frame. Everything looks good, and so I like the trade. I like the trade. I like how it looks. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I don't have any added emotions. This is very quick, easy. 1 + 1 = 2. I did throw a fib on it, a 4 hour fib, which, it's there. From here to here, retesting. It never closes above the 78.6 level. But yeah, we're in there, so we'll see what happens. Also, I did want to add this. So for my other pairs, let me see if I can show y'all real quick. So for example, for GJ, this is the fib, and I would like for price to push up a little bit higher. The only thing is price did just kind of create this little tweezer top here on the 2 hour on the 8 hour time frame, because it's retesting off of these highs over here to the left. Yeah, across the left, which is fair. It's just the only thing is it doesn't fit the fib, and then the EMA is still really high up. And especially with this being a consolidation breakout, yes, GJ is likely to do this and continue back down, but I just want to be really clean, take clean trades. I don't want to force anything. And so I would like to see price push up a little bit higher and at the least get back to this 38.2 level. That'd be great. Or get to the EMA. That would be really nice. But yeah, that's all I'm saying for GJ. Like I said, we just got into UJ. I could move my TP down a little bit more, honestly, have a bigger TP, but it's all good. And then for EJ, you can definitely see how price is very bearish right now. It's definitely descending, but it's at this weekly level. I don't trade through weekly levels, so I would just want to see price break, retest, and then sell it down to the 167.5 level. So let me forget before we leave. And then GA. GA is a little what do the European folks say? Squeamish. It's a wee bit squeamish. Right now, structurally it is, doing its thing, and you can kind of tell how price is dropping, but I want to see a break, retest, collapse all the way down to the 2.025. So yeah, but if it can break and get down to this level over here on the left, come back up, retest the 2.05, and then collapse, that would be nice. But yeah, that's all I see for right now. Like I said, I'll keep all updated with this trade, but I feel really good. I mainly took that UJ trade. So here's the contrast between that GJ trade and the UJ trade. Very similar setups. Only thing is the placement of the EMA. The EMA acts as a moving trend for me. I have it dialed in that way. And then UJ also allowed me to set up a fib, a 4-hour fib, just for an added confluence. And I have the added confluence of knowing that this is a level that price has respected. Like I said, I took a very similar trade 2 weeks ago, off of that same level that looked the same way, that was bearish, and price dropped. So it's familiar ground. It looks good. While GJ, it's kind of floating in empty space right now, and it's not close to the EMA. It's not close to the fib level yet. So I'd rather just want to see a little bit more from that pair before going forward. So took the trade, proud of myself. We'll see what happens, but yeah. All right, yo, today's August 6th, and I got into UJ last night, and I talked about some of the things I would like to see happen concerning UJ and then some of the other pairs. And number one, we got blessed, and exactly what I wanted to happen is happening. So just quick update. This is UJ. It got awfully, awfully, awfully close to hitting stop loss. As soon as I got in, and immediately turned around and went right back up. However, I guess at just 8 hours, price just wicked up and turned around and went right back down. So we are currently up 22 pips. Now, the thing that's interesting is the yen pairs move similar, but they don't always move the same. So EJ turned around and pushed right back up. GJ also turned around and pushed right back up. And I was saying how I was wanting it to get to the 38.2. I've definitely felt like it could slow down here and stop there, but I would like it to get a little bit higher, and that's exactly what price did. And so now I officially have a setup and a potential trade opportunity that I'm actually really excited about, and it might be the last trade that I take this week, especially later tonight, because price is testing off of this general, let me see if I can show it. Yeah, it got all the way back to up here. And I think when I did my, what's it called? I don't know. I'll show it a little bit later when I actually get into the trade. But long story short, the fib is now validated. Price has made it all the way back. The 8-hour EMA is coming down. The 4-hour EMA is coming down. Oh, it's actually at the 4-hour EMA. So sometime between now and midnight, I would like to see price just kind of level off and move to the right, and just move to the right, create a couple dojis, a bearish engulfing, something like that. That would be really, really, really great. So yeah, but just see those, to see all these candles lose momentum, long story short. Yeah, see all these just start to lose momentum and level out before we turn it around and catch this bigger trade, this beautiful trade, all the way down to this level. So it's gonna be a good day. Really, 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 really grateful. This has been the smoothest, I think, trade I've taken in this prop firm challenge so far, because I got in last night. I think I checked the charts once after I came out of my prayer closet at around 2 in the morning. And then from 2 in the morning all the way to now, I only checked the charts once, and that's when I woke up at around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really level. Like I said, I'm just grateful, and we're gonna continue to go forward. So yeah. All right, quick update. Today's the 8th. It's gonna be a little bit more raw. I just woke up, which is crazy. It is midnight, 12:03. I literally got home from work, took a nap. However, just want to go over a couple things. I got into a trade, I want to say last night, into GJ last night, and I didn't make a video about it, but this was a trade setup. It was actually quite nice. So I believe that I talked about it, but I wanted GJ to pull back up a little bit more. And in that trade, it actually did. So right here where my cursor is at, price had pulled back. And at midnight, it had created this, I want to call it like a 4-hour doji. And 2 hours after that, you see this massive 2-hour candle push and close right back down. And even down here, you can see on the Hakanashis, you see that Hakanashi flip and it turned red. And so I got in off of that. I actually felt really, really, really confident about this trade. However, immediately after that, price pushed right back up, pushed all the way back up. So after seeing that, I was like, okay, well, all good. You know, we'll have good losses because I really felt like that was a really great loss. So I reset, did a little bit of top-down analysis, and I saw this very beautiful thing. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Head and shoulder setup. Price consolidated here. Price broke out, retested, is currently retesting that range support, which also that range support lines up with the left shoulder resistance. And then price 100% broke structure down here. So we have a very simple, clean Fibonacci, two major market patterns, a reversal setup, a consolidation breakout, and a major market pattern on a daily time frame. On top of that, this is a head and shoulders. This is a pretty clean one at that. So if this trade holds and actually plays through, oh, I got ahead of myself. I got into the trade. Apologies. So here's an 8-hour tweezer top right there. On the 4-hour time frame, you have a engulfing, where price literally engulfed just technically this candle, but you can see the shift of momentum. And then, was there anything on the 2-hour? Almost like a 2-hour double top, I guess. I think it's a little bit more clear here, like this double top-esque action. So I'm feeling pretty good. I entered primarily off of the 4-hour. What did I just do? GBP. It's down here. Is this the right one? What is going on? 4-hour. Yeah. So I entered off of here on the 4-hour time frame and the 8-hour. And like I said, you can see the Hakanashis. The Hakanashi almost flipped right here. It needed just a little bit more, like a couple more pips, but you can tell because it opened up bearish. So the momentum's already flipping. It's already opened up in that direction. What time frame is this? Is this a 4-hour? Yeah. So feeling pretty good about this trade. I gave myself a pretty I gave myself definitely a pretty big stop loss placement. So traditionally I go about 10 to 15 pips above. This time around, I went based off of this wick over here, this wick right over here. So I went about 10 pips above that, which gives me about 30 pips above, I think. Was it about 30? Yeah, 27 pips above that wick, just in case price wants to pull up again. And TP's way down here. This is a massive trade. That is a 396 pip trade. So definitely a long trade. Want to see price just drop. Want to see price just absolutely collapse. Push all the way down. It's a 1 to 6.67 R to R. So feeling pretty good. I also do have another setup. Oh, here's a quick update with my UJ trade. This trade here, it has resisted dropping, but directionally it's still moving to the right. It's just it hasn't committed quite yet. So what I would like to see in a perfect world, what I would like to see is the yin pairs across the board. All of the yin pairs across the board look like they want to drop. They finally reached like their that resistance level that they wanted to get to. Even with EJ here, EJ has a very similar thing. Left shoulder, the head, the right shoulders. It's reached that support level that it tested off of multiple times before it collapsed. So all of the yin pairs are at these levels. So I would like to see it dropped. Honestly, there's nothing more to it. So really excited for that. Now, the other setup that I have, and it would probably be smart for me to not take this trade, even though it's a really clean setup. GA broke, or GA consolidated and officially confirmed that it's not going to break below the 2.05. So you have another consolidation range. Here's the resistance. The support's down here. I just don't have it marked. Simple, clean fib, A, B, looking price to retest and respect, really just kind of get to that 38.2 level. It's already kind of creating that counter trend. So I want to see price push down just a little bit more, get in here somewhere, relax before pushing back up to this 2.07500 level. So yeah, I'm feeling good overall. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah. All right, yo, today is the 11th of August, and just real quick recap of how the week ended last week. I just realized I didn't make any videos talking about those trades. So first and foremost, my GJ trade, that first one actually ended up hitting stop loss. I actually just deleted, I just like went back and reset all of my charts and realized I didn't talk about it. So in the last clip, I talked about getting to GJ right in here. Literally immediately after I got in, price turned around and reversed and pushed all the way back up. So that trade ended up losing. However, immediately after that, the UJ trade, it kept just kind of consolidating, going left and right. So while that trade was going, I let GJ run, and I ended up having another trade opportunity. And this is kind of what it looks like. It's going to be hard to see because this is a screenshot of the trade. But price had pulled back to the range support here. So after price pulled back, it retested, it respected. I believe it had planted a 8-hour tweezer top, which I'll go and show here in a minute. But this is literally what the candles look like on the 4-hour time frame. They're consolidating, moving to the right. You can't really see it, but that 4-hour candle actually engulfed the previous candle, and putting that position for the 2-hour Hakanashi to basically bottom out, to lose its momentum. My camera is tripping. Come on, focus, please. To lose its momentum. And then you can already see, like, as soon as the candle opened, like we've been in maybe a minute and some change. As soon as that candle opened, it was already opening up bearish. So momentum had flipped, you know, so really solid entry. I had a 1 to 6.87 of a, what's it called? But same thing. As soon as I got in, oh, hold on, if I can show you real quick. Price had created this 8-hour tweezer top. So I literally had a fib from here to here. Price pulled back. This is on the 8-hour time frame. Tweezer top, and then 4 hours later, you know, 4 hours later, it just pushed up. Just kept pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. Which is really interesting because not too often do you see price have a major breakout the way that it did last week, like an absolute collapse like this, and then a turnaround and push back to the point where it basically engulfed the previous weekly candle. So it just was crazy bullish momentum all the way back into that range. So all good. Ended up taking two losses off the GJ because of that. But then I also ended up losing my UJ trade, which I believe I showed, but just in case I didn't. This is the entry that I got in. Really clean entry. Price pulled back, nice little engulfing candle off of that. However, this is what price ended up doing. Where did I get in at? I forgot where I got in at, but I think I got in somewhere over here, and it just, or maybe I got in, I don't know where I got in. I forgot where I got in at. But anyways, I got in and price just consolidated and was moving to the right, you know, to the point to where I end up, I believe price pushed up to here somewhere. And when I woke up and saw price was way up here, I just closed the trade and, you know, just decided to take the loss. So yeah, I don't have a real plan for this week really, because it's hilarious actually, because I had 4 trade opportunities last week. I took 3 of them. I acted on GJ twice, both really great trade setups. Definitely 100% my edge. They just didn't go my way. UJ, I took a UJ trade. Once again, good setup. However, the last trade which was also a really good setup, is actually the trade I didn't take because I was already at my trade max. And I think going into Friday, I was already at 4% loss. And with prop firms, you can't lose more than 5% in a day. So if I had gotten into this GA trade, I would have been potentially at risk of losing 6%, which would have had me in a position to potentially breach depending on how the market reacted. But funny enough, the one trade that I don't take is actually the trade that does the best. So I literally would have got in here at 10 a.m. Friday morning, held it over the weekend, and now I'd be up 47 pips. This is a really, really, really clean, great trade. Consolidation breakout. I love consolidation breakout trades. They're some of the easiest and cleanest trades, especially when they work. Now, of course, GJ didn't want to go my way on a consolidation breakout, but it is what it is. My consolidation breakout trades are like a 70-80% win rate. So literally GA had a clean break, clean retest. You see the loss of momentum, and price is currently pushing up. So yeah, but coming into this week, I don't really have a plan. I did just see a video that Swaggy had posted, and he was talking about position trading and holding positions longer. I know I've had conversations with Landon talking about once price gets close to TP, removing the TP and trailing your stop loss, having a trailing stop loss by, I don't know, 20, 30 pips, something like that, or 40 pips, something like that. Just let price maximizing your winners, because sometimes in a trade like this, you got to think this is a range where price has been consolidating since, what is this, since April, so there's a chance if price really wants to, GA could break back up above the 2.07 and then continue back up to the 2.10, which is likely, especially if price wants to consolidate in this range all year. And so that is a very viable option. And so it is what it is. But regardless, I'm sitting on my hands. I am down way more than I would like to be on the account. I'm down 7.3%, I want to say. Yeah, I think I'm down about 7.3. That GJ trade, because of slippage, I end up losing 2.5% instead of 2% that I risk. So I lost an extra 0.5% last week that I shouldn't have lost. I also have been tore up by fees. I've lost probably about 1% in fees, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. I wish there was a way to see this on here. Trades, close positions. Trades. Nah, you can't really see it on the mobile version, but anyways, yeah. So I've lost, I've probably lost a good like 1% and some change just off of fees alone, which sucks. But it's all good. God's gonna continue to bless us. We have, we've lost 3 trades already, which is our average losing streak, which I am overdue for a winning trade. So it's all good. We're gonna continue to act and be obedient. But yeah.